Mathematical Terms Reviewer Part 2. A natural number where the sum of its distinct factors exceeds the number. Abundant number. An angle less than 90 degrees. Acute angle. Any combination of symbols and numbers related to the fundamental operation of algebra. Algebraic expression. Combination of alphabet, numerical symbols, punctuation marks, and other symbols used in computer works. Alphanumeric. A line segment drawn from a vertex perpendicular to the opposite side called the base. Altitude. A non-numerical symbol holding a place for an unspecified constant. Arbitrary constant. A chart or diagram consisting of horizontal or vertical triangles or bars, each of which represents an interval of values of a variable and has height proportional to the quantities. Bar graph. A mathematical expression of two terms. Binomial. Two slant triangular prisms fused together. Biprism. The digits 0 and 1 in the binary number system. Bit. The recorded current value of an asset. Book value. The amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. Calorie. Numbers used to count objects. Cardinal numbers. A method of locating a point by pair of numbers denoting distances from two fixed reference intersecting lines. Cartesian coordinates. A plane curve described by a heavy uniform, flexible cable hanging freely between 2 points. The term comes from the Latin word which means chain. Catenary. An old name for zero. Cipher. To draw a geometric figure around another geometric figure in such a way that they are in contact but does not intersect. Circumscribe. A point at which a function has a first derivative of infinity, thus having a slope which is vertical. Critical point. A theorem that links complex numbers and trigonometry. De Moivre's theorem. A dot placed between the integral and fractional parts of a number. Decimal point. A curve that can be turned inside an equilateral triangle while continuously making contact with all three sides. Delta curve. The decline in the value of an asset due to the passage of time and constant use. Depreciation. A chord containing the center of the circle. Diameter. The set of all first elements of a relation. Domain. The profit derived from a project or business enterprise without consideration of obligations to financial contributors and claims of others based on profit. Economic return. The true value of interest rate computed by the equations of compound interest for a 1-year period. Effective interest. The plane curve traced by a fixed point on a circle as it rolls along the outside of a fixed circle. Epicycloid. Being of equal distance to any given points or lines. Equidistant. Number that is used to simplify repeated product. Exponent. Process of converting expressions as sums into equivalent expressions as products. Factoring. A collection of related geometric configurations also refers to a set of curves whose equations are of the same form but which have different values assigned to one or more parameters in the equations. Family. The unending sequence of integers formed according to the rule that each integer is the sum of the preceding two. Fibonacci numbers. A symbolic statement of mathematical expression which is syntactically correct. Formula. A part of a cone or pyramid lying between the base and a plane parallel to the base. Frustum. A surface of revolution of y equals 1 over x. Gabriel's horn. The branch of mathematics which deals with the properties and relations of constructible plane and solid figures. Geometry. A plot of x values against y values for a given function. Graph. A right-angled parallelepiped with dimensions a times ab times abc, where a, b, and c are integers. Harmonic brick. A vertical bar graph that shows the frequencies of score by the height of the bars. Histogram. The longest side of a right triangle or the side opposite to the right angle. Hypotenuse. A ratio of positive integer in which the value of the numerator is greater than that of the denominator. Improper fraction. A point on a plane curve where the curve has a stationary tangent at which the tangent is changing from rotating in one direction to rotating in the opposite direction. Inflection. Are counting numbers and the negative of the counting numbers and the number 0. Integers. A transformation in geometry that does not change the lengths of sides and the measure of angles of the figure involved. Isomorphism. Are figures that have the same perimeters. Isoperimetric figures. A matrix whose diagonal elements are all equal and non-zero, and whose elements above the principal diagonal are equal to 1, but all other elements are 0. Jordan matrix. The study of motion without reference to the forces which causes the motion. Kinematics. A line through the focus parallel to the directrix and intersecting the curve. Latus rectum. A right triangle with two shorter sides differ in length by 1 unit. Limping triangle. The shortest distance between any two points. Line. The portion of a sphere lying between two semicircles of great circles. Lune. The decimal part of the logarithm. Mantissa. The part of mathematics which investigates the conditions under which integration can be carried out. Measure theory. A measure of both time and angle. Minute. An n-digit number equal to the sum of its digits raised to the nth power. Another term is plus perfect number or Armstrong number. Narcissistic number. An assemblage of faces forming a polyhedron of zero volume. Nullid. A hypothesis that is being tested for rejection. Null hypothesis. A graph of cumulative frequency distribution plotted at the class marks and connected by straight lines. Ogive. The position of any point on a plane from the x-axis. Ordinate. A number such as 1,234,321 that reads the same forward and backward. Palindromic number. Theorems that determine that surface area and volume of a figure generated about an x-axis. Pappus theorem. An angle equal to one revolution. Paragon. A dimensionless geometric object having no properties except location and place. Point. A polyhedron of which one face, called the base, is a polygon of any number of sides, and the other faces are triangles which have a common vertex. Pyramid. Referring to the four divisions of the rectangular coordinate system. Quadrants. A point where a curve intersects itself along four arcs. Quadruple point. The angle between two radii with an intercepted arc equal to the radius of the circle. Radian. The quantity inside the radical. Radicand. Any angle greater than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees. Reflex angle. A line which intersects the circle in 2 points. Secant. Part of a circle bounded by an arc and a chord. Segment. A quantitative measure defining the extent to which scores are dispersed throughout in relation to the arithmetic mean. Standard deviation. The exploration of three-dimensional space from two-dimensional sections of projections of solid bodies. Stereology. A double point at which two osculating curves are tangent. Tacnode. The axis of the hyperbola which passes through the foci, vertices, and center. Transverse axis. Prime numbers that appear in pair and differ by 2. Twin primes. A sequence that first increases, then decreases. Unimodal sequence. A circle of radius 1 unit and is used to determine the sign of all trigonometric functions in all quadrants. Unit circle. The moment of the resultant of two concurrent forces with respect to the center in their planes is equal to the algebraic sum of the moments of the components with respect to the same center. Varignon's theorem. The bar that is placed over repeating decimal fractions to indicate the portion of the pattern that repeats. Vinculum. Real problems that are usually given orally or written in words. Word problems. The horizontal axis of a rectangular coordinate system. X-axis. The vertical axis of the rectangular coordinate system. Y-axis. A point in the celestial sphere directly above the observer. Zenith.